Hey guys, how you doing? Ray here again. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, it's Nitro Kyosho. This is the Trex Pro 500 electric model, and today's video I've been asked quite a few questions from some of my subscribers about this new Trex Pro 500 and the old Trex 500 ESP. They were wondering what has been changed. Well, I can start out by saying this a lot, just about everything. But just to touch quickly, the Trex Pro 450 that came out, the new one, not a whole lot changed, guys. On that, they put the MX motor, and they put the flybarless system and a new Canopy, and I think that was just about it. But this was a total revamping. Okay, so let's get started. I've got my notes here because I can't remember as much as there is here to talk about. So what we're going to do, because a lot of my subscribers have been complaining, they said, Ray, we need some close-ups. So I'm going to go through the changes, and then I'm going to remove the camera off the pod here, and I'll show you the close-ups and point out what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, but I don't have a cameraman to help me out. So anyways, let's get started. Okay, first of all, let's start with the canopy. Is a bigger canopy, and the bottom of the canopy has 2 extra sets of posts to hold it on. The old one only had the 2 posts, and then it connected into the bottom of the frame. This one has a GP 900 gyro that is totally new. The old 500 came with a 780, which was coming on the 450s also. They changed the gear. They made a helical 134 tooth main gear on this one. The auto rotation gear remained the same. The rudder servo, where it's been placed, has been taken off of the boom and put into the frame. It's tucked away nicely for protection and also for better center of gravity. The motor has been changed. It's the new 500 MX, which has improved cooling, and supposedly that will result in an increase in power. The speed controller has been upgraded to a 70 amp. The old one was about a 60, I believe, on the ESP model. It's a totally new revamped head with 3 sets of the positive and negative deltas, which is going to give you a lot of different combinations for your Bell-Hiller mix and ratios. One of the other big ones is the the new 4mm carbon tail control push rod is a totally new setup. A lot of people would complain about the little wires that line was giving you, that they would crimp and bend and they weren't working right. Personally, I never changed mine on my 450 Pro. I never had any issues with them. I think that they worked fine for me. But this one has a totally new design. It's a bigger helicopter, and I think that it needs the bigger tail rod. The canopy is a new design, like I said, but it's actually more aerodynamic also. I think this is the best canopy that they've put out so far, as far as the paint on it and everything. And the style and the way it looks. Some of the older canopies really had a generic, cheesy look to them. The tail gearbox has totally been revamped. You got thicker, stronger side plates and back there that protect the crown gear back there, the tail drive crown gear better. It's got, let's see what else. New dual bearinged tail blade grips. Okay, you actually got thrust bearings back there and other bearings, so you have actually you're going to eliminate some of the slop that the old one had too back there. They did some nice upgrades to the back end of this, guys. I like that they put a metal pitch belt crank on it, so you don't have to upgrade that. And also it has a metal pitch slider on there, so that's nice. The overall length of this thing has been stretched a little bit. It's a little bit over 1 inch. the guide now, or I call it an elevator guide. They call it an anti-rotation bracket. That's made of metal now instead of plastic. The cyclic servos are basically in the same spots, except now they directly are going to mount to the frame without having to use the mounting nuts. And that's pretty much a lot of the changes, guys, that I just ripped through there. Now, just going back and forth, some of the changes between the two of them, those were all the changes to this. Like I said, the gear is different, the main gear, the overall length is different. The brushless, the electronic speed control has been upgraded to a 70 opposed to the old one, which was a 60. The gyro is a biggie. It's a 900 versus the old 780. The motor is different. The head design is different. The tail box is different from the old one. And even the frame has been strengthened and redesigned. So, let's get off of the pod here and take a look at this thing. Now, this is what they're talking about here. You can see that these are thicker plates now back here. The pitch slider is now metal. God, I need a better camera, guys. I'm tired of this old camera. I got to get into the high def world, huh? If you look down underneath here, that's the bell crank arm is metal now. The only thing that I don't like is they still put a plastic one of these, and you can get aftermarket ones that hold on the tail assembly. Between the horizontal fin here and the tail casing, it's still that plastic piece, which I don't like. I upgraded to metal. You can see it right in there. I upgraded to metal on the Pros. Okay, let me move this pod out of the way here. Okay, you can see the motor in there is a new design. The gear is a 134 helical design here. You can see that the rudder servo no longer hangs off of this. That was a stupid design. I'm so glad they got rid of that. Because in tail boom strikes, that thing could get wrecked. You see, this is the new push rod setup. It has a piece of aluminum that you glue on there, and you only have one hanger, and that'll slide back and forth. I mean, that thing is thicker. I think it's about as thick as the struts here, guys. So I think that's a nice design, and it tucks away nicely, the servo here. The other servos, I'm not going to bother to pull the canopy off because they're in the same spots. They basically just screw into the frame, okay, instead of with the use of mountain nuts, you know, to hold them in. I believe that the landing gear is the same, as far as I know, as far as I've seen. This is the anti-rotation bracket. You can see that's metal, and that's nice and thick. You can see the positive and the negative, the deltas, the different settings they give you up here. There's 1, 2, 3 settings there. Okay. I believe that the paddles are the same. I believe the fly bar is the same. The head is a new design. This is a little bit longer here, these blade grips. That's where you gain that extra rotor length. I know that the blades back here on the rudder are basically the same as far as I can tell. I know that they did change too. The torque tube back here, the front torque tube gear is different. That's inside of there. I know the speed control, like I said, that is different. This is that's the gyro in there. Okay. And the canopy. So it is a bigger canopy. That's another thing to be warned. I bought this canopy here. I was looking forward to getting that for a long time. It's got a nice skull on the front of it. It's a cool looking canopy, but it does not fit. So I'm out $42. So if you know anybody, guys, who needs a brand new Align 500 canopy for the old one, let me know. But yeah, it didn't fit. It didn't come with holes here, and I took my time and I carefully made the holes and I measured them with a vernier, and I bought the little rubber grommets, put them in. It fit onto the helicopter, but up here was too small and too tight, and it would be hitting the servos, the arms in there, and I checked it every which way and there was no way to go about using it. So other than that, you know, I don't know what else really to talk about. I think I covered basically everything. It's a beautiful helicopter, and those are basically the changes, guys. I don't think, let me just grab my notes here. I don't think I forgot anything. I think we just about covered everything that I had written down here. So that's about all I got to say. I hope that you got some learning out of this, and I hope that you know the difference now between the new 500 and the old 500 ESP. And we'll talk to you soon, guys. Take care.